How does math make you feel, Gracie? How does it make you feel when you get to do math with mommy every day? Is that how everybody feels? A wagging tail? Boop. Boop. Somebody wants to go on a walk. I can tell. Maybe it's nap time again.
All right, enough of that silliness. Welcome, mathematicians, to another fabulous day of writing arithmetic or algebraic equations. So writing those equations for penny jars. And today we're going to move on to a new situation where we get to create the same kinds of equations, okay? We're going to call them windows and towers, okay? So we're going to talk about windows and towers. So in your in your package that you received from Ms. Karad or myself, there was 10 cubes that were connected, and those 10 cubes we're going to be using for these math lessons. So pause the video and go get them, okay? All right, first now we're going to do our, welcome back, we're going to do our math warm-up, which is nothing to do with cubes, okay? This is something with time. You might need a pencil and paper. So the question is, what time is it? I walked to the store today. I left my house at 3:45 p.m., okay? And arrived at the store at 4:27 p.m. How long did it take me to get to the store? So one thing I know is that there's 60 minutes in an hour, and that really helps me towards figuring out how many minutes it takes me to get to the store. So I think about how many minutes from 3:45 does it take to get to 4 o'clock, and then I can add the rest of the minutes from there. Pause the video and figure out how many minutes it took me to get to the store. Okay, welcome back. So first, what I did, if you want to see how I solved it, I mean, I can't do it in my head, but this is how I would solve it if I was in 4th grade. Okay, so I started at 3:45 and I got there at 4:27. So I'm writing down the key information, okay? And then what I think to myself is you can always use a number line, and you can start at 3:45. And I think to myself, well, then there's 4 o'clock. That's like my landmark time. And then there's my goal of 4:27. So I just think to myself, well, 3:45 to 4, I know that's 15 minutes. Okay, I know it's 15 minutes to get me to that landmark time of 4 o'clock. And then 4 to 4:27, I can see it's just another 27 minutes. So I add 15 plus 27. Well, what's easier for me to add is 15 plus 30, because I know that's 45. And then I'm just going to subtract 3 back, and that's 42. So if you have 42 minutes, you are correct. If you didn't need the number line, and you can think about, like, I know it's 15 minutes to 4 o'clock, and then I can just add 27 from there, that's also fine, okay? So it's just whatever works for you. But we're practicing being able to think about how many minutes pass, because it helps us manage our time, okay? All right, now we're going to get into the main part of our lesson, windows and towers. Now, I am so silly. I forgot to bring home my own windows and towers, my own 10 cubes to model these lessons with. So I'm going to be showing you videos from our math website that also show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into it.
I want you to take out one of your cubes. I want you to look at it just by itself. So we are going to look at these cubes, and we're going to now starting to call them towers, like a tall building, a tower. Now, we're going to be counting the windows. So this is one floor because it's one cube, okay? And each of these circles counts as a window. Now, if you've ever seen what a skylight is, it's basically a window on your ceiling out towards your roof, and light from above can come in. Maybe you've seen one in someone's house. My grandma had one in her bathroom. So we're going to count all the windows. So if you have your cube, hold it in your hand, and I want you to touch every window. So you're going to go 1, 2, and on the other side there's going to be 3, 4, and then on the top you're going to have the 5th window, okay? So that's a single tower because it's just one cube, and it's also one floor. So what if we have it, excuse me. So now, if it's 2 floors, if it's a single tower, you can see it's just one tower going up, but now there's 2 floors, okay? So we still have only one skylight, but there's 2 floors here. So it's 1, and you think about the windows, I want you to count, and you go 1, 2, on the other side is 3, 4. Same thing here, I'll bring you to 8, plus this 1, so there's 9. So in 2 towers, there are 9, okay? There are 9 windows. So this is what we're going to be writing our equations about and calculating. So we'll be able to figure out the number of floors and the number of windows. And what this is similar to in our last lesson is number of rounds and number of pennies all together, okay? But actually the start with is always the same. So your start with kind of number is 1 because you're always starting with 1. If it's a single tower, you only have 1 skylight, and that's the number that never changes. No matter how many floors up you go, you will only have 1 skylight because it's on the ceiling. So, like on the roof, through the roof. So that's like the number that's constant, but what keeps adding each round is 4. So I want to show you a video that explains that more. Make sure you got your cubes out. Actually, wait, I'll show you a little bit more. So that's a single tower. Okay. Here's a double tower. So this is where you take 2 of your cubes and you put them next to each other. Now there's double tower because it's like there's 2 pieces. So if you're counting all the windows, count all of them all around the edges without the skylight. Just count around the edges. How many do you get? Did you say 6? Yep, that's correct. Plus 2 more, 7, 8. So there should be 8, right? And then if the double tower, so if it's a double tower, like a building that has 2 towers to it, like somewhere in San Francisco or New York, now this is a 2-floor double tower. So now there's a second floor to go to. Think of it as a building, okay? And then there's windows for each floor. And there's always, but instead of it being plus 1 every time, because there's always 1 skylight, in this case, there will always be 2 skylights. And no matter how tall this gets, there was 2 skylights over here, and there's 2 skylights right there. So I'm gonna have a video show you right now what I mean by that, because I can't really hold these things for you in front of me because I forgot to bring them home. So here we go.
Windows and towers. I am working on the windows and towers activity. This is called a single tower. This single tower has 1 floor. Each side of the tower has a window. There is a skylight on top. This tower has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows in total. This is a double tower. This double tower has 1 floor. Each side of the tower has windows. There are skylights on top. This tower has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 windows in total.
So we'll get into square towers and corner towers a little bit later. I want to come back here with counting the windows, okay? So just think about, today we're just focusing on single and double towers.
I added another floor to my tower. The top floor has 5 windows. The bottom floor has 4 side windows and no skylight. That's 9 windows in total. I added another floor to my tower. The top floor has 5 windows. The second floor has 4 windows and no skylight. The first floor has 4 windows and no skylight. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 5 is 13. There are 13 windows in total.
And this is 1.
I can make my double tower with more than 1 floor. With more than 1 floor.
Oh man, I just want to pause for a second. I want to show you this. So see, this is 3 stories, okay? So this is 3 floors or 3 stories. So 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floor. But it's only the top floor that's going to have 5 windows because it's the one that has the skylight.
I can make my double tower with more than 1 floor. My 1 floor double tower had 8 windows, 6 on the sides and 2 on top. I added another floor to my tower. The top floor has 8 windows. The bottom floor has 6 side windows and no skylights. That's 14 windows in total. I added another floor to my tower. The top floor has 8 windows. The second floor has 6 windows and no skylights. The bottom floor has 6 windows and no skylights. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 8 is 20. There are 20 windows in total. My table shows the total windows that are on a 1 floor double tower.
So this is like floors, so instead of saying rounds, These are the floors because it's just like each time another floor is added or each time another round is added. And then this is how many total windows there are, okay? So this is just like having total pennies. So you're using the same kind of chart, but you're just counting something different now, okay?
Okay, boys and girls, now that we have reviewed what a single tower and a double tower is, and how to count the windows, including the skylight, and how many more windows are added for each additional floor, we are now going to do 2 pages in your math book. I'm looking for my math book. I just had it to my side. Oh, here it is. We're going to do 2 pages in our math book. I'm going to start them with you, and I want you to finish them on your own. Please open up your book to page 529. That's 529. Okay?
Okay, here we are. So here's your single tower, and it's asking how many floors, how many windows. Now, when there was one floor, we were talking about how there was 5 windows because there's 4 side windows and 1 skylight. So altogether, that makes 5 windows. And then when we added a second floor, we noticed there's 4 more side windows added. So 4 plus 5 makes 9. And then after another floor is added, it's another 4 more. So each round, or in this case, each floor that's added is another 4 windows. So I'm going to leave it right there so you can complete the tower. And then I'm going to skip down to this part right here. How did you figure out the number of windows on the 10 floors? Okay, so you can explain how you figured out all of these. And then you can write an arithmetic expression. So what this means is just write an equation that shows how you figured this out. So if it were me, I'm like, okay, I start with, so there's always, let's see, there's always 1 skylight, and then it's always that plus, and then I'm adding, there's 4 side windows with each floor, right? So if there's 1 skylight and there's 4 side windows for each floor, I think I'm going to do 4 times, there we go. I'm going to use the letter F because it's going to represent floors, and it's going to equal W. W for windows, okay? So it says, shows how I figured this out for the 10th floor. Well, I could do 1 plus 4 times 10 equals 41. So hopefully you got 41 here. Now, if you're adding 4 each time, and this is what you end up finding out, then write that equation here, okay? And write it here for when you, so you're gonna jump to 15 floors, so you'll probably need this equation to help you jump to the 15th floor, okay? Remember, just like before, you can't just double the 5th round to get to the 10th because we only have 1 skylight. Similar to like you only have 1 start with, that's the number that never changes, but you only have 1 skylight, and you will always only have 1 because you're only getting taller. You're not getting wider to have more skylights, okay? So you're going to finish this page on your own. Remember, this equation is how you figured out for the 15th floor, and this equation was for the 10th. So I did that with you, but you still have to explain how you figured it out. So you might say, you know, I added 4 to the 9th floor window. So it's whatever you did. Like I didn't do that. So I would write this math up here. I would do 4 times 10 equals 40 plus 1 equals 41. It depends what's true for you. So maybe you just did repeated addition, maybe you did multiplication. Just write what's true for you. And same thing, write the equation. That's all this means. Write the equation you used to figure out 15 floors. So I'm going to be checking for all these floors completed and answers to A and B, okay? Then you're going to work on the next page. The next page is all about double towers. So you just watch that in the video. So remember, for the first floor, how many windows do you have? I want you to take out your cubes and you can count them and you can make these towers so it can help you understand. I'm also going to include the video on our stream, and Miss Crowd will too, of the windows and towers if it helps you understand how to count them. So when there's one floor, it's just these bottom 2, right? It's just this one that I'm covering with my pen. Now, how many side windows are there? There's 1, 2, there's 3, and then on the other side there's 4, 5, and then there, on this side there's 6. There's 6 side windows, and then there's two skylights. So it's going to be 6 plus 2, so that's going to be 8. Okay, and then when you do the second floor, you have to think about it. The skylights never change. It's only 2, but you have new side windows added each round, just like we saw. So it'd be 6 more, right? Because it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side there's 4, 5, 6. So add 6 to this, you get to 14. And I want you to continue it all the way down. Same thing. How did you figure it out for the 10 floors? Write your equation. Figure out 15 floors. Write your equation. So you're going to finish this on your own, okay? But it's adding 6 each time because that's how many side windows get added to the bottom when you make your tower taller. So the more floors, these are 3 floors. Remember that, okay? So 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floor. And it just gets taller, but the skylights, the +2, never change. Okay, so if I was going to write the equation for this, instead of being a +1 like I did on the other side, it's going to be 2 plus. And then we notice it's not 4 windows on the sides each round, it's 6. So I'm going to do 6 times F, the number of floors, equals W, the windows. So here it's like for the first floor, it'd be 1 right here, so it'd be 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And that's true, isn't it? Okay. So remember, you're going to write the equation, but you're going to put the number 10 in for right there, or you're going to do repeated addition. Figure it out for 15 too, okay? Okay, good luck.
Okay, mathematicians, now it's your time to work independently and complete page 529 and 530. I started them with you. Remember to answer all parts. Complete the chart. Answer portions A and B of each question below, all right? And you're going to upload pictures of both 529 and 530. I will include the towers and windows video that we started to watch together. I will include that on my stream, and so will Miss Karad. Actually, no, I'll include it in both of our streams. It'll be from me, but it'll be for you, whether you're a Miss Karad student or you're a or you're mine. And it will be just you being able to review how we count the windows on towers and on towers. If you don't need it, like if you're getting it and it feels clear and you're not confused, then you don't have to watch it. But if you start to get confused in the middle of the math assignment, before asking for help, watch the video. Okay? It's gonna be math words and ideas. So like I said, you're completing page 529 and 530. If you start to feel confused, watch the math words and ideas video on windows and towers. If you're still confused, email Ms. Karad or myself, whoever your teacher is. Okay, it'll be posted as a separate post in your stream. All right, take care.